What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. It's episode number 79. My name is Randy Little. If you've been rocking with me long enough, man, you know that. But I feel like the intro is customary. Moonfall from Roland Emmerich came out this weekend. So I thought it'd be fun to talk natural disaster movies. And then along the way we kind of like, like I say, like I think I said off wax, man. We'll make it up as we go. That's what Rec League does, man. We would make it up as we go. We're not professionals. We don't set the rules. But upon discovery of movies like Contagion and The Happening and Castaway, the requirements for a natural disaster movie kind of like switched up. It's not all floods, hurricanes, volcanoes, asteroids, you know what I mean? So, Melissa, Eric, Nick, we got the panel back for the first time in, I want to say 3 shows. Because last one, Melissa missed. She missed the one before that, too, through miscommunication. And then we were all on the favorites of the year, most anticipated of the year episodes. So it's been about 5 episodes since we all 4 got together. If you're keeping score. I wanna I wanna do a lot of shout outs, man. Like I feel the love that Rec League has been getting recently. It's way too many to list off and name individually, man. Like shout out to every single one of the fellow podcasters on Twitter that have showed us love. It doesn't go unnoticed. If you on Good Pods, if you on YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, showing love to Rec League, man, it is appreciated. The ratings, the reviews, positive or negative, it is all appreciated. Whatever y'all react to each episode. And we're literally available on Facebook. Search Rec League Podcast on Facebook, and every episode is available to listen to on Facebook. You don't have to go to another podcasting provider. Like you can listen to every episode on Facebook. Like that's how crazy technology is to me. Like just clicking play on Facebook and listening to this show. Shout out United States listeners, Canadian listeners, UK, the Rec League is popping in like India and Indonesia, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia. Like shout out to the Middle East listening, watching Rec League. Like that's wild to me how far this show can reach. So yeah, like it's all love, it's all appreciated, man. Recently in a theater, you know what? It's been a little thin theatrically. 'Cause the biggest release after the most recent podcast was that Ice Age movie on Disney Plus. This past weekend, like I said, Moonfall came out. Jackass Forever also came out. Both of those reviews are on my personal YouTube channel. Upcoming, Death on the Nile is finally coming out. Blacklight with Liam Neeson is coming out. Marry Me with J-Lo and Owen Wilson is coming out. The weekend before the next episode drops, Uncharted is coming out with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and then Dog with Channing Tatum is coming out. And I believe Channing Tatum co-directed that movie. So, Blu-ray and DVD, right after the last episode, the Bad News Bears remake, Clock Stoppers, Paramount dropping some catalog titles, Barnyard, a lot of, catalog re-releases. And then this past week had some shit on physical media, Blu-ray, DVD. Ghostbusters Afterlife came out. A Wayne's World Steelbook came out. Clifford the Big Red Dog, which for whatever weird reason, didn't get a slipcover domestically. Upcoming. This upcoming Tuesday is high key kind of crowded. You got Encanto getting a physical. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is coming out. Catwoman Hunted, the most recent Disney animated release. King Richard is coming out. Stargirl Season 2 is coming out. A lot of stuff coming out this upcoming Tuesday, and I feel like there's one or two that I'm not mentioning. But the Tuesday before the next episode, Eternals is finally getting a Blu-ray. The unrated version of Eurotrip is getting a Blu-ray. Some more catalog stuff. 200 Cigarettes. Hey Arnold the movie. So yeah, there's all of that. And one time before we get to the main conversation, it's not movie related, but I did drop a poll question on Twitter. I posted it before the AFC NFC championships, but it ended after those games were over. So oops, that's my bad. I asked, which possible Super Bowl are you hoping for? Rams versus Chiefs, Rams versus Bengals, Niners versus Chiefs, Niners versus Bengals. And winning this poll question at 38.5% was the Rams versus Chiefs. So I think that was the sexy game everybody wanted to see. Everybody expected like a 40-something, 40-something, 50-something, 50-something game. Coming in second was the actual Super Bowl, Rams-Bengals. Niners-Bengals got 23%. Nobody wanted this. 7% of people wanted to see Niners-Chiefs, the rematch from 2 years ago. So I thought every possible Super Bowl had an interesting like drama going into it, man. But stay tuned. We're talking disaster movies. The 4-horse people of the Rec League. I just made that up. Don't make that a nickname because that's stupid. But yeah, man, it's Rec League Podcast. Hey, we back. It feels like forever since we was doing this, but we back. First, we ain't talked like current events in forever because it really hasn't been any. So like, I just want everybody to react to Scream 6. Like, Scream 5 was cool. The more I think about it, the more I pick it apart. And Nick, you was like, if they don't have a story already in mind, like this is kind of a bad idea. So elaborate, sir.
I don't know. That like exactly that. Like I feel like your movie doesn't have to be good as long as you have like an outline. Like we want it to be good, but if they already have an idea for Scream 6, then okay, good, make it. But if it's just like shit, we have to write another one for it to be out in like 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know, because how often can it just keep happening? It's not like, oh shit, Michael walked out of the house, he's still alive. It's like, it's always someone different. Like, at what point is it like you have the worst cops in the world? Like, you can't contain this thing. Like, everybody's obsessed with putting on this outfit and killing people. So,
we're gonna get the killers of like the cousins of the killers of this current Scream are gonna just.
I know. Like,
you did this to my cousin.
Sad. So was Scream 5 a big hit?
Yep.
Yeah, like yeah.
That's why they're doing it.
The money is why it's already greenlit.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Nev Campbell's already rumored.
Yeah.
Or maybe even in talks.
So what else is she doing? No offense. I love Nev. I love you.
Skyscraper 2. Duh.
That's true. Skyscraper. That counts.
3 to 10.
Does it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since the theater.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue it because I haven't seen it in like 4 years.
Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. It was like, yay, more Scream because Scream is my favorite.
Yeah.
But also it was like Star Wars, which I compared Scream 5 to Star Wars, and it's the same movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are they just gonna do Star Wars again and just write another one and just be like, hell yeah, new trilogy? Or are they gonna actually put down an idea on paper and be like, okay, this is how we can cap this off, or this is how we can keep this going?
So Eric, do they call it Scream 6 or do they call it Scream 2 2024?
Oh
God.
god.
I hate it.
Knowing them, they'll probably call it Scream 2.
But like
Ugh.
TOO.
Right. Nah, they won't do that.
Would y'all say that Scream 2 was originally going to be titled?
Scream, the sequel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they'll go with TOO.
That might be it.
Paramount's in
I can
control
see
now.
them doing that.
Yeah. Nah, they won't. Think of a bunch of boardroom members hearing that title and know that it won't happen.
No, I have the title. It's gonna be called Scream. This time you can't blame Dewey.
Yeah. Not Dewey. Spoiler. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. That's my biggest thing. I'm just like, I'm apprehensive. I'm like, please have an idea.
Yeah, so we're gonna see
I
it.
don't know. They've had ideas in the past that they've scrapped or
Right.
like given to other things. So I'm like, maybe dig down and like find one that worked. They're gonna have to pull a Cobra Kai. Like they're gonna have to start bringing back people from the old movies. Like Patrick Dempsey needs to be in the next one. He's still alive. He needs to be waiting by his phone. He's not doing anything else. What's her name? Kirby.
Yeah.
She needs to be in the next one.
Also, Patrick Dempsey is done with his dream appearances and that hospital show, whatever the hell it is.
He was still coming back on that?
Yeah. As soon
I
as
don't know.
What
yeah,
a
as soon as
dick.
last year. Yeah, what show
I
was
don't
that?
know.
McDreamy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, that shit.
He was McDreamy. The other guy was McSteamy.
McSteamy.
Yeah.
They were
But no,
separate
Patrick
people.
Dempsey, yeah, he returned to the show in
I
dream
love
form.
McSteamy. It's awesome.
Sorry, spoiler, y'all.
McSteamy is on Euphoria.
I thought it sounded like we going to
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah, the McSteamy.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Melissa, do you care either way about Scream? Okay.
excited. We're all excited. We're all clearly excited.
I watched Scream 2, and I was like, holy shit,
Amazing.
I saw this the first time it came out. And I watched it again, and it was fine. It was okay. Good cast. But, I don't know.
All right. Clouds and rain and tornadoes and volcanoes and asteroids and because Moonfall came out and I wish somebody made me watch it with a gun to my head. We talking natural disaster movies and we gonna toe the line because over 2 weeks like I never like cooked up criteria. So like if the world is about to die, then we're gonna talk about it. I have like a list of 10. Like I watched 3 Roland Emmerich movies, counting Moonfall this past week. Well, 4, but one of them wasn't natural disaster. Eric loves the 4th one. Like loves. Like loves.
Oh god.
Which one of y'all want to start us off? You talk about hard rain.
I saw Twister again. So I saw Twister when it came out, and then I just never revisited it for whatever reason. I don't know. And then I came on television. I was like, oh my god, I love this movie. I thought it was great. I loved it. It's fantastic. 5 stars. So yeah, that's one of my contributions.
Yeah,
Twister is good.
It's been forever since I've
News
watched
from the-
Twister.
Yeah.
But it's like Helen Hunt's like big breakaway from Mad About You and
It holds up.
anything with Bill Paxton's entertaining. I have it like on my calendar to watch in March.
Yeah.
I didn't know we was going to talk about this in February.
I just got lucky. It came on one of my movie channels.
Yeah, Twister was like a childhood movie.
Yeah.
Like the beginning used to really scare me. Like, I don't know. Her dad got like taken away. For some reason I thought
Yeah,
that was
that
way
is
more
actually,
plausible.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god, I hope that doesn't happen to my dad. And it was like, well, it never happened to anyone ever.
If you were like,
I don't even have like a barn. Like that would never happen.
if you were a kid in the
So-
90s, sorry, Eric, then you watched Twister.
Oh no.
Well, I would.
I'm almost like VHS. Like I remember that day. And I remember like looking at the tape, like I don't know what this is, but I was like, "There's a cow
Yeah.
on the back." Like I thought that was really funny, so I was like, "All right," and then like put it in. Like the movie didn't disappoint. Like I was like, "Oh shit, the cow!"
I kind of wish they didn't make the cow such a big part of the promo, but whatever. That probably made everyone go to see because that's one of the best parts. It's one of the craziest things, and it's like, oh, I knew this was coming.
Yeah, seeing a cow flying through the air. Yeah.
I was like 6 or whatever, and I was yes.
It's so funny.
Yes.
I don't know why. I guess because I still remember. There's movies that you watch and you're like, wow, I still remember that commercial coming out for the first time and being like, what the? That's one of those things. That stupid cow.
Hell yeah.
So,
Is that the best like natural disaster movie?
Well, okay, wait. Does Titanic count?
It's
right?
not
Titanic doesn't count, but it kind of does.
I think it does. Natural?
If Titanic counts, then it's Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, aliens didn't create an iceberg.
Like I said, like in terms of like what we think, like oh my god, destruction and like weather.
Let me see
But
my.
yeah, I guess Titanic counts. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's hard to compare the two. Twister's like one thing. Titanic is kind of like.
Yeah,
two
Twister
things
is
or
like
many things.
disaster movie. It's like yes, that's that.
Twister
Titanic
is very
also,
straightforward.
That's why I was kind of thinking like, are White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen home invasion movies?
I didn't.
Well,
They're not.
I can assume what
they're just Die Hard again.
Yeah. So
That's literally. I watched White House Down like last week because I hadn't watched it. I was like, let me just refresh, and like it's fine. But I was like, yeah, this is just Die Hard, and so is Olympus Has Fallen. But they're both fun. Not disaster movies though.
So like
For sure.
Volcano or Dante's Peak.
I don't care.
as far as what?
Pick. Which one do you prefer?
That's easy. Dante's Peak. Volcano is
No.
I don't remember Volcano, so yeah, I'll say Dante's.
How about this? I'll put it like this. I remember both movies very well, seeing them like 2 days apart in theaters.
Oh, really? Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those twin movies like you referred to, but they
I
came
didn't
out very
realize
close.
it was so close, though.
It was like,
No, it wasn't that close. I was being funny, but
I think
they
Dante's
were
Peak was
months apart. They were
February.
very close.
Volcano was like the end of April.
Yeah. So I'll put it like this. In Dante's Peak, you actually learn a thing or two about a volcano. In the movie named Volcano, you learn absolutely nothing about volcanoes.
You unlearn.
Right, yeah. Except you don't even learn that they erupt.
It's been forever since I've seen either one.
Yeah.
But didn't Volcano like create a volcano like in the middle of LA?
Yeah.
And it's like it's absurd, but it's like fun.
Oh, it's better. It's the better movie.
Now I want to see that.
Come on.
And Nick, I think Nick, we talked about this. I believe it was you. The ending of Volcano is the most ham-fisted.
I don't remember.
Remember the ash?
No.
Giving too much. No, come on, Nick.
I don't. I guess I wasn't.
I could have
thinking
sworn
about
we talked about this, but yeah, it's when you see it, it's just so ham-fisted and corny. It could have been done in a good way, but and Tommy Lee Jones, his performance in that movie is based on when he was at that award show and he was uninterested.
Yeah.
That picture, Nick knows the one. Just Google it; it'll come right up. That's his performance in that movie.
Yeah.
But no, Dante's Peak is the more
that was a paycheck
entertaining movie, and that's saying something because for most of Dante's Peak, it's just talking.
Yeah, Dante's Peak got an anniversary coming up. I think I'll rewatch it beforehand. Should have done it.
I still haven't seen those. I want to though.
Yeah, but when the stuff goes down in Dante's Peak, it probably, spoiler, the volcano erupts, and when that happens, it lasts. I think the third act of the movie is trying to survive the volcano. When that happens, it's suspenseful. It's nail biting, and it sounds generic, but yeah, it's a lot more entertaining than Volcano. So, I recommend Dante's Peak.
I think it knocked up.
I wanted to know what people thought. So
yeah, and I recommend you take Volcano, and if you own it, throw it in the garbage.
Into a volcano.
Yes, if you could find an actual volcano to throw your physical media volcano into it.
The thing get knocked up when they say, like, just because this website exists doesn't mean ours can't exist. Look at the volcano and Dante's Peak.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. I'm like, yeah, they came out. Like, I remember them coming out super close. And then we have the amusement park down the street. It's King's Dominion. And around that time, it was like 97, 98, they built a roller coaster called the Volcano. And it used to be Paramount's King's Dominion. And my dumb ass, I always just kind of assumed that it was from the movie Volcano. And like, I was little, I was like, wow, that movie must have been a big deal. And like, I just don't think it was. I think it was just the Volcano roller coaster. So that's my memory of the movie Volcano. It's just like, wow, man, nobody else got this roller coaster. Must be a good movie. I was wrong. And then they took down the roller coaster like 5 years ago. So, shit. That's the legacy of that movie.
Oh man, you attributing it to something that's not related to it.
But
Yeah,
why wouldn't it be the movie though if it came out at the same time? Like I had
Coincidence?
I don't think it's a Paramount movie for one.
Oh,
I kind of like caught on to that like
It's a
later.
Fox movie, ain't it, or something?
Yeah.
Wait, never mind. Because
I was
we
like,
had that
think.
too. We had theme attractions based on movies like Top Gun, Days of Thunder, whatever. But
Yeah, like there was always stuff there. Like there was lots of Wayne's World stuff there. That was like my favorite corner of Paramount King's Dominion.
Where's
But I was
Mosquito?
like, God. And then like, I don't know. But then like as time went on, like I was just like, why would they make such a big deal out of a movie that like no one remembers? Like with it like 10 years later, like I was like, that's probably not based on Volcano, right? Like it's just
That's
it's its
so
own
funny.
thing. But maybe it is. I'll never know. Unless it's on Wikipedia or something. But anyway, that's the legacy of those two. Like obviously beloved classics that we all remember fondly. Volcano and Dante's Peak.
Just like Casablanca and Citizen Kane.
Yeah, honestly. Boom boom.
I don't know where y'all want to go next.
Don't Look Up. Anyone want to talk about it?
Sure.
Just shoot way forward.
These two liked it.
This is what everyone's reactions to Don't Look Up.
Y'all,
Everybody went, looked up.
I didn't hate it. Like,
I thought it was great.
I did
okay.
too.
Okay, everybody. I
Oh
thought it was
yeah,
a great
Eric loved it. Eric named
Yeah.
it as his top of last year. Is that correct?
Yep.
I don't understand
go.
satire.
I don't
Most
know.
people
I thought
don't.
it was great.
You're a heathen. You peasant.
Yeah.
No, I was leaving.
When Jonah Hill's
You'll
over
understand.
Jonah Hilling.
You
Yeah.
understand it.
I
Come on.
mean, if you at the point when Jonah Hill and Meryl Streep are introduced, if you don't know what movie you're watching, you should have just turned it off right at that moment.
No,
it was. I'll say this. It was very long.
I can't
Like,
give a proper review if I would have
It
turned
you know
it
what?
off.
I give you
then.
that. It could have been 20 minutes shorter.
Hell yes.
And I don't know if you needed not one, but two post-credit sequences.
Yeah, it was.
Like it's a comic book
the
movie.
the never ending
They were both
story.
funny though.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I give you that.
They
I
both
mean,
made me
that's
laugh.
fair.
Like I was like, oh shit, she got eaten by the alien.
But I'm not saying this. I mean, satire, and the movie hit a lot of sore spots with a lot of people about a lot of issues happening in the real
Oh,
world.
well, I
That's
don't
the
give a
real
fuck about
reason a
none of
lot
that.
of people don't like it.
Interesting.
I mean, one thing that stood out to me is the fantastic performances by like
For sure.
I love
half
Lee.
dozen of the people in a movie give great performances.
I love Leo in it, but I always like him.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, yeah, you can't argue that.
Rob
I thought he was
Morgan.
great. I mean, my eyes are just stuck to the screen whenever he's doing anything, so I thought he was really good. That's one
Yeah,
of the.
he steps up
I
like
like
I
he's
didn't even realize the Kate Blanchett was her until like
Yeah.
the third scene she was in.
yeah.
I think she changed her
Damn.
teeth and definitely got a major tan to
Yeah.
like.
And let me say this. This goes to show you, because I'm talking about this later on my podcast, the Sigmund Cinema podcast. Google it, listen.
Who else showed up now?
This goes to show you, if there's an actor in that movie, he only seems to turn in good performances when he's directed by other people. He's a filmmaker actor. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
Oh
Yeah, oh yeah,
It
yeah,
took me
yeah,
a
for
bit.
sure.
It took me a bit.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the
I know
Shadows.
what you're gonna say. You're gonna say Gone Girl, aren't you?
Yes. His one scene performance in Those Who Want Me Dead. That dude was scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He
you forget that
I
you
was
just
like,
one
what?
scene.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this
he
movie, but
he's the Baxter
Yeah, the
Stockman
Angelina
of our
Jolie,
generation.
Wait a minute, is
Is
that
that-
movie a natural
Is that a
disaster
disaster movie?
oh, plot twist.
Yeah,
Nah,
they're using-
That was a man-made
It's a box office
fire.
disaster.
that's a man-made, but fire is natural.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
No.
I have
even though what man started it,
I
doesn't
ha-
mean it can't.
I have
become-
only The Brave on my list. I don't have
Alright.
This Is Where, what's it called? Those Who Want Me
This is where
Dead.
they want me dead.
This is where I leave you.
This is where I leave you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Of where I leave
Go
you
look
dead.
at that. No, Tyler Perry knocked us off track. But no, don't look up.
Leaves the kid in the woods.
I like the movie. Like
Leaves him.
what Melissa said about Leo. You can't go wrong with Leo. I think he could read the back of a peanut butter
Hell yeah.
bottle and give a great performance.
Yeah, he just
Um,
doesn't do paycheck performances.
Right.
True.
Nice.
True.
And it's
Which
good to
is
see a lot of people don't like her for whatever reasons.
J-Law.
Yeah, J Law. I like Jennifer Lawrence.
I have
Yeah.
my issues with her, but hey, she was good. She did her role, and I have no complaints.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's typically good
Yeah,
in movies
I'll
like
give you
this.
that. I'll give
But
But you know who I love though? A lot of people don't like his performance, but I see where he went with it. With his eccentric character is Mark
Mark Rylance.
Mark Rylance.
I didn't just like you and Kate Blanchett. I had no idea who the fuck that was until
Yeah, at
after.
first.
And I was like, oh, no wonder everyone likes this guy. Like, yeah, that was a very interesting performance.
Yeah.
He's a
Very-
great actor.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that
it's a
could
great
have they
scene.
could have gotten like a comedian or somebody for that role, like somebody who would be more like. But instead, he just came out and acted like one of those like weird guys.
Right.
And I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
dude,
you're
this is
right.
great. This is
You're right.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
But-
great.
I like the movie a lot, and like I said, the satire and what the movie was hitting on was referencing to a lot of real issues going on in the world. And
Yeah.
just I'm looking at the movie just for what it is, the movie and how well it was done, and I think McKay did a real good job with it, and it'll be hilarious if the "Don't Look Up" song gets nominated for an Oscar.
It would be. They could
I think
perform
it could
exactly
happen.
that way.
Yeah,
What
but-
what is that? The Ariana song? Or?
yeah, the song she was singing.
Kid
That's
Cudi.
the original song.
Aren't we
That
close
was
to the
my dad
nominations
there, but,
getting
like,
announced?
My dad took it. He was like, "I thought Ariana Grande was hilarious," and I was like, "See."
I see.
I don't know, I don't know. I just thought everything about the movie, I don't know, not everything, but I just thought it worked. Like it was like you had this huge cast, but I didn't think like anybody really stepped on anybody else. Like I was like, well, yeah,
Right.
Ariana
Yeah.
Grande was very good in that role as that pop star, because that's kind of like what she is in real life. And it was satire that worked for me because you're thinking it's obviously over the top, and then it makes you think is it over the top? You start thinking would this play out exactly this way if it happened? No,
Right.
maybe.
No, it
you're
would.
thinking, oh, somebody would react exactly that way.
To me, because COVID is the more urgent thing than the environment, I think it works well as a satire for that. Maybe not intentionally, but I definitely don't think it's over the top when you consider how
Yeah,
the
you start
governments
thinking
across
it's
the globe have handled COVID so spectacularly badly. I think it's very spot on for that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was the intent or maybe a happy accident, but I think this satire is very spot on for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the intent, unless I don't know. It's hard now to know when anything was filmed.
Or
Right.
or
That's
thought
the
of
thing,
or created,
yeah.
because obviously Leo has been a big environmentalist since forever. So
True. Yeah. Yeah.
And Matt
dude.
Damon too. That's why he does the Bitcoin commercial.
Please.
Fortune
Unless-
favors the
Oh
brave.
my goodness.
I'll laugh at anything about Matt Damon.
I need an
Well,
interlude to play
disaster.
that commercial.
Oh man.
Fortune
Please don't jinx me.
favors
I've
the
been
brave.
the last two movies. They didn't show that damn
Yeah.
thing. I love Matt Damon. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know if
wanna
I've seen
hear
it this
him
year.
talking Bitcoin. I love Matt to death. I just
Jesus,
Uh,
really?
yes.
Like Jimmy Kimmel.
Matt is the greatest thing since
I like Matt Damon. I don't know if I love the man. Like, he's reliably good.
Matt Damon is the best thing since the other Matt, Broderick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just doing this to get Melissa.
A lot of statements are being made here.
I'm just doing this to get Melissa's expressions. I'm just Matt Damon. He's an okay actor.
He was.
I just don't want to see any damn Bitcoin commercials with him.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, dude. Like that's a disaster in the making.
No, but yeah, that's funny.
But anyway, another disaster movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list here.
Let's.
I got one for you if y'all not ready. It's a twofer. I don't know if
I'm ready.
You've seen this. These. So there was an event that happened in 2004, and a couple of movies
Tsunami
were made about it. Yeah. So Hereafter from 2010. It was portrayed in that, and The Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2012, I believe.
For sure.
So yeah, the 2004. Horrible. And have y'all seen? Everybody seen this movie Hereafter?
No.
You heard of it? Clint Eastwood?
Yes.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was like a movie where he
ago.
had like telekinesis or some shit.
Yeah, he was basically a medium. I only seen it once back then.
I saw it 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
I remember being like,
I'll look it up.
But there's a natural disaster in it?
Yeah, one of the characters, it revolves around, was it 3 or 4 characters, and they have these, thanks, Nick. Yeah, but anyway, it revolves around these characters who, experienced, near-death situations, and the tsunami is one of the characters' plot point, and it's
kind of like
not the best movie.
Remember Me.
Yeah. And it's so The Impossible is definitely the better movie. And so if y'all seen that, if you talk about that, that's with young Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, that was the first time I remember seeing that was like my point of reference.
Oh no, Brandon.
Yeah. Oh
Not
man,
The Impossible. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Oh no, it's on social media, not social media. It's streaming somewhere.
Everything.
I highly recommend that.
I kind of have my mom is from Thailand. She has a place there. We were in Thailand when the tsunami hit, okay?
Oh, shit.
And I'm so scared to watch movies about it still.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
We were very lucky. We weren't anywhere near the coast. We were inland, I believe near the capital. But, at least 1 million people died, right? It was absolutely horrible. And, yeah, those movies scare me. The Impossible, that's Naomi Watts, right?
Yeah.
That just terrifies me.
The white family goes to Thailand.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
See it through their lens. But it is a good, I will say, you can always make fun of that. But it is a good, Naomi Watts, that might be I don't know if it's career best, but maybe. She got nominated.
She was nominated for Best Actress, Oscar.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was my point of reference, when Tom Holland got cast as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, oh, he was the kid in the tsunami movie.
But I'll tell you this, you probably won't want to watch it anytime. The way it's not like when the disaster happens. Like, for example, I'm sure we're going to talk about some Emmerich movies here. And as good as those visual effects are, when you watch The Impossible, you don't think I'm watching visual effects.
Right.
You see
that's what I'm scared of.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can imagine what y'all, it's scary. It looks scary.
I feel that way about, and it's 25 years old. I still feel that way about Titanic for the most part. I think that's why that movie is, to me, held up as well as it has.
It's the actual event.
Water. It's they're down there, and when he's handcuffed to the thing, and she's got the axe, and they're all wet. I still watch it. I'm like, fuck, dude. This hasn't been hard to make. It's nerve wracking. That's what.
Yes.
That's what works, I think, better than John Cusack running down a runway that's falling apart behind him.
Oh, it's him running and gunning a limo like it's like it's a car in Fast and Furious. But yeah,
Whipping
that's
the
what I
limo.
mean. This stuff looks amazing, but it's special effects.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that with Titanic. Man, that's crazy how James Cameron does what he does.
It's weird that movie is as old as it is. Even though it's
Yeah.
not old, but
Right,
it's like
exactly.
25 years old. I'm like, geez, it's just
Right.
it still holds up really well.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just rewatching Castaway, and I was so anxious, and I know what happens. I've already seen it, but like the direction of that movie, the acting and everything, I was like getting, I was like, oh my god, like so scared. But I know what
Yeah.
happens.
It could have gone
That's
a thousand
funny.
different ways with Castaway. Like he could have fought like
Oh,
a
yeah.
bear or something. Like it
Instead of
could have been
bear.
stupid.
He could have fallen off that cliff. Like there's so many
Yeah.
decisions he makes that are so scary,
Yeah.
and I'm like actually scared, but I'm like it's so
He
ridiculous.
takes his tooth out with an ice skate. It's like, of course he does, because
Right.
yes, that's what we would do.
And it's funny, Melissa, you
like dentist tools.
that you phrased that like that. You said
Yeah.
I know what happens.
Mm.
I was lucky because I like that movie a lot. I was lucky to have not seen the trailer where they spoiled the ending.
Oh, don't
Castaway.
get me started.
They do.
They were, they got. I couldn't imagine if that movie came out during the social media age and they did
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah,
It's like,
I was
well,
lucky
what if
not
he's
to have
not
seen it.
holding
I
the
just knew.
volleyball?
All I needed to know was Tom Hanks and
Okay.
Robert Zemeckis, and I went to
Yeah.
go see it, and I
Yeah.
wasn't spoiled. But I don't know why they did that. It was like,
So
you were
stupid.
you were gone
See
for
any
4 years.
form of
I'm like, I saw that trailer. I'm like, man, they couldn't have played this
Why
trailer.
would you
for us.
put that?
Yeah.
That's everything right there. That's everything. That's,
Well, it's the whole thing because he's home and you're like, well, I noticed he's not holding the volleyball.
Yeah.
So I say, well,
it would be
where's the
awesome
ball?
to go into that and like you watch the plane crash and you have no idea where this even
Yeah,
goes.
like I was blessed that I experienced, but man,
That's awesome.
But yeah, going back to that's crazy. I'm recommending you not to watch a good movie, but the event that happened, you have a connection to it. It's a tough movie.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if it's really, really good effects and they did a really good job with it and the real water and everything, you start to feel like, oh my god. And Naomi Watts, I always like her. I think she's great.
Yeah, great performance. I definitely recommend it for numerous reasons.
I remember when
one
that
of 'em.
was really big and she was getting hyped and all that. I remember all that. But I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's another true story on my list that has to do with water.
Come
I'm
on
sure
with
it's
it.
one of y'all's too. What's that,
Spill,
Randy?
spill it.
No,
The tea.
now this is why I love Twister. It'll probably be for those type of movies top 5, but top 3 would definitely be The Perfect Storm.
Oh, I haven't.
Based on another true story.
Perfect Storm's pretty dope.
Perfect Storm is good. It's just depressing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really
Hell
enjoy
yeah.
watching The Perfect Storm. Like I like rewatching some like Twister. I love watching Twister's
Yeah, it's
great.
fun.
Yeah,
Perfect
it's real
Storm.
good.
Yeah.
I'm never throwing in The Perfect Storm like fuck yeah. Here we
Yeah, it's
go.
hey, get the popcorn. Yeah, you know how it's gonna end, and that's when stuff is based on true story. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
That
Yeah,
happens.
based on true story, it's like, oh, I've never heard of these guys. They must have made it out okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great cast.
it really is.
Cast.
Yeah, really good ensemble cast in The Perfect
And
Storm.
something that they do real well. We get to learn, get to get to know and like the characters.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's all about the gut
like
punch.
all of them. Man, that's an awesome cast. All these.
It's like John C. Reilly,
Yeah.
John Hawkes.
It's all about the gut
And
punch.
his character, was it John Hawkes?
Yeah.
And it was showing him. I remember that not his arc because his character didn't make it, but his development. He was getting to know the lady and like, oh, look at that, and
I can't wait for them to spend their life together getting to know one
yeah,
another.
it's depressing. Damn. But
My dad refers to The Perfect Storm. Like, my dad will, like, when he doesn't like a movie, for, like, something, like, he'll refer to it like The Perfect Storm. Because he hated The Perfect Storm.
damn.
But he'll refer to it like, it just keeps going on, and, like, you think they're okay, and then something else happens, and it's like, then they die or something like that. Like anytime it's like
He's mad that it.
it'd be like, man, it was like the perfect storm. I didn't like it because it just kept going. It kept going on. They were never safe. They were never okay. And I'm just always like, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, that's
On and on, and you think, okay, we're safe, and then they get shit on by something. It's like, oh damn it. But
and
that's
it's
like
kind of a swerve. Have y'all all seen? Well, it don't matter. We know what happens. I remember the promotion for the movie, the trailer, even on the poster, the selling point was on the boat going up on that wave.
Yeah.
And even then, a lot of people didn't know it was. I forget, did they say in the trailer? Is it based on a true story?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, but even going in, a lot of people didn't know that it was. And you see the trailer. Oh, they're selling a movie with this. Oh, of course they're gonna make it when we go see.
Yeah, they'll be fine. It's like like a little tugboat. It's like the fucking like Steamboat Willie, like a Mickey Mouse boat. And you're like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. Like I don't know what we were expecting, but I was still watching it like, oh man, they'll swim. Like they'll be fine.
They'll swim.
But we know what happens.
Definitely a disaster movie though. Sorry if it's 20-year-old spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
Hey,
yo,
watch the Smart. It's like a known thing by now. I thought.
Keep it in the water though. Have y'all seen Adrift?
The Drift.
Adrift. Shailene Woodley.
Adrift?
Hurricane.
Like, I've seen the Tokyo Drift.
It is a hurricane, right?
Beat me by 1 second.
Who's in the drift?
Yeah. Shailene Woodley, Sam Claflin.
Oh, okay. No.
I've heard it is. Haven't seen it though.
Is that where they eat clay on a boat?
It's pretty solid. They get caught in a hurricane and then they're just in the water for like a long time.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Fuck me, right?
I was just gonna...
Sounds great. I skipped that. I remember I don't know, for some reason I didn't care about that movie. And that's rare. When a movie comes out I don't care about it. It's hard for me to turn around. It happened this year with the football, with the American Underdog. I really didn't care about it.
Yeah.
And I just was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll go see it. And I enjoyed it. So maybe I should have gone to see it.
All right, same director. Does Everest count, or is these people put themselves in the shitty situation?
Well, it's natural situation. They just put themselves in it. I
Yeah.
guess
they really I guess it counts because I googled disaster movies just to see,
and it came up.
It came up, so it counts. But yeah, it really is if they'd have just stayed home that day, they'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Every warning in the world, it was hey, most people die doing this every year, and they're just yeah, hell yeah.
Hang ten.
But not going too far away from the water. So 2 movies here. 1 movie, then a remake of it. Randy?
Oh, wait. No. I had
Randy?
Yeah.
I'm not a remake.
1972 movie.
Oh, wait. Poseidon?
The Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
From 1972, starring Gene Hackman.
I was did you hear Ben Stiller's story about the Poseidon Adventure where when they were making the Royal Tenenbaums, he said the Poseidon Adventure was his favorite movie of all time. He was it changed my life. It changed the way I see movies. He said I was so nervous to talk to Gene Hackman, and I finally went up to him and told him that movie changed my life and his performance was so good. And he said, "Oh yeah, money job."
Damn.
That all the time.
Yeah.
Damn. But that's a great movie. That is another kind of classic disaster movie. Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah. And it's probably one of the few movies that we're going to talk about that has an Oscar nominated performance. So The Impossible. Mm-hmm. And this is another one with good old, I'm sure you heard of this guy, Fred Astaire.
Oh, that
nominated for Randy. You don't know Fred Astaire.
Never heard of him.
No, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in this movie. And to be, man, what is this? 50 years old? Yeah, 1972. The effects, because most of them are practical, they hold up a bit.
Yup.
Yeah.
I don't hate the remake either, but the remake is kind of like you said, it's so good for its time and so practical it still works. The remake was well, what if it was super updated and super duper modern and CGI and it works, but it's kind of the charm is lost a little bit.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
Mistake. I'm thinking of another movie that I'm going to mention. Another disaster. Fred Astaire's nominated in that one.
I was trying to think.
Shirley Winters was nominated for Best
Oh,
Supporting
I don't
Actress.
remember Fred Astaire
Hey.
dancing around the boat.
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it
That would have been
in a
awesome. I
Sick,
mixed
bro.
up two movies, but Shirley
while.
Winters
I
was
haven't seen it
nominated.
in a long
You
time,
can-
so I'm not going to argue.
You can't be out here feeding our audience misinformation, man.
That correct. That fixed it. But yeah,
Party foul.
Shirley.
also,
Wow.
I'm gonna look something up.
That's party foul, dog.
But yeah, Poseidon, 2006 movie.
Shelley Winters. I think.
Notorious box
Shelley.
office.
I said
failure.
Shelley. But yeah, I saw that. That was the first time Poseidon, 2006, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I went to one of those dinner in a movie
Oh,
theaters and eating and watching people. Oh, there, he's dead.
Yeah, fun time.
Good.
is that like a VIP or that's what we call it here?
Yeah, it was. They would go to call it that now, but it was just like, oh, you can eat and watch a movie back then,
Back in the olden days.
right? Back in that day. Oh, it was memorable.
That's awesome. I'm so used to eating and drinking when I'm like at the theater because I love that VIP option.
Mm-hmm.
I
But yeah,
remember when Poseidon came out, and it was like a box office like failure. It was like a big disappointment at the
The
time.
Yeah,
reboot or the
The remake.
the remake, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I remember
figured.
I was in high school, and like I remember reading the news. Like it was like Mission Impossible 3 went number. It was like in its second or third weekend or something when Poseidon came out, and it went number 1 again. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, damn. Like I started reading that. It's like, oof. But like
Nobody
the
wanted
cast is super good, but it was like Josh Lucas was one of those dudes that we always talk about. Like they really were like,
Yeah.
look at this guy. He looks like Paul Newman. He's gonna be a big star. And like he had like 3 movies in 2006,
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
didn't happen.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Still.
that.
Glory Road is still amazing.
Wow.
Glory Road is fine.
Good movie.
It's good, but then he did Stealth and Poseidon like the same year.
Mm.
Talk about a disaster. I quit.
Oh man.
I didn't hate the remake. Like I feel like I've watched it like within the
I
last.
still want to watch both.
It's not bad. I might even say it's like pretty okay.
Man,
Like
that's
it's fine.
crazy. That story that you said Ben Stiller said.
Pretty-
Mhm.
I love
I think
that.
that's a money
I love
job.
that story. Like
If
it's
that's a money
heartbreaking,
job,
but-
God dog, I don't know how well y'all remember the Poseidon Adventure from '72. Gene gives it's a scene. He has basically a rah-rah monologue scene. I'm like, that must have been a good paycheck.
Yeah,
Fred Astaire
I wonder if he was serious. I mean,
But then again, you have those generation of actors. They don't, because they feel it's their rep, so they're always gonna give 100%.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
outside of that, Gene
Yeah.
Hackman was doing like
the French
or-
Connection.
yeah,
or
like
whatever.
he was doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
What's the one?
So he probably looks down on the movie, and that's his like
Yeah.
soundbite.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that
Paycheck movie.
was my box office hit.
My analogy is like if I meet Will Smith and talk about Independence Day, and he says that, like that's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that would be heartbreaking. Oh.
No shit.
Yeah, money job.
But you know what? I think actually, in '96, Will Smith was still
I know he was coming up. I mean, it's not a perfect.
no, not that.
Yeah.
Not his coming up like status wise. He had trouble with the IRS. So
Oh.
like for the
It is
how
it
many
is a money
seasons of Fresh
movie.
Prince?
6.
6.
6. For 5 of those seasons, he gave half his check to the IRS.
Oh my
Damn.
dear Lord.
So I think he might have been in the clear by the time Independence Day came around. So yay.
They are money movies. I mean, literally.
This is paycheck roll. You're like, oh, you mean the one I did before Bagger Vance? Yeah, that one. It was fun time.
But yeah, good old. So I don't know what there's a couple of movies on my list. I don't know if we're going with this that involve fire. Are we towing the line there, or I just crossed those off now?
I mean,
Just do it, man.
that's like I was saying about
Every fire.
It's considered a disaster movie. The one around the same time as Poseidon, classic.
how did the fire start?
Did they say how to fight? I think it was. Yeah, well, yeah, you could probably
Use
put it
wood
off because
inside
of that.
fire.
So I'm talking about all of y'all probably haven't seen the damn movie anyway.
Yeah.
Starring Paul Newman and Steve McQueen.
Oh, Cars.
Friggin' Nick. What is that?
What is it
Lightning McQueen.
This is the movie Fred Astaire was in.
Lightning
and nominated
McQueen.
for. Then this movie was a huge deal and a huge hit because they were like back
Cars
then.
2?
What's the no the Towering of Inferno.
Towering Inferno.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, that came out
Towering
74.
Inferno.
Damn, I have to see this.
Yeah,
Every movie rips off the Towering Inferno.
I didn't know that.
Skyscraper with the Rock.
yeah, that's all that is. Yeah.
Skyscraper was just the Towering. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's Die Hard." I was like, "It's really the."
I don't know how to
Towering
explain it.
Inferno.
How big these dudes were. Like I was laughing, but no, how they describe it because to get them together, it's like having I don't know what's the equivalent
was
of
like
today's. It's probably
Brando and Nicholson.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
It's even. And
I don't know.
kids like under 30 still wouldn't get that.
Yeah,
No.
that's still a little old.
Timothy
It's like
Chalamet. No, I'm joking.
today it's like Chalamet and Machine Gun
Tom,
together.
Spider-Man kid. Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
so Paul Newman and Steve McQueen, they were like the it guys. They were so demanding, so in demand. They have exactly the same amount of lines. One actor
Oh
didn't
my
want to give
God.
the other actor this. It's yeah, ego, right?
Dick measuring.
Egos is
Exactly.
flexing.
Society.
Imagine
Whip them out. Yeah.
doing the math on that to make sure they have the exact same amount of lines. And imagine them being so worried about that they hired somebody to make sure that they had the same amount of lines.
Good lord.
That's come on, man. Just give me the check.
yeah.
and that
like
too,
Gene Hackman
also.
would say. Yeah.
No, 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 no,
Gene
no,
Hackman
no.
would just show up and be like, just give me the money.
Newman stuttered. Run that back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
hold on.
It's
Put
amazing.
an extra syllable in there. Fuck this. I'm in my trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the super duper, it was a super duper big budget
Dude,
movie in
that's-
'74 at $14 million.
That's the
Damn.
Fast and Furious. Vin Diesel can't take one more hit than Jason Statham.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, just honorable mention, I guess, if we're not going with
Fire.
including fire and stuff.
No, that's a disaster movie.
Yeah,
But
I'll,
then it's like,
I'll definitely
like
watch
I
it.
said, like so many movies rip off the Towering Inferno.
Mhm.
But it's like I wouldn't think of Die Hard as a disaster movie
no,
Nah.
that's
at all.
Straight act.
But it's clearly like, you know, they watched the Towering Inferno when they wrote it.
That's funny.
But
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not even
Total class.
positive that the fire and Only the Brave didn't start by a human. I don't remember.
they don't really say. It's just kind of like they show up. They don't ask questions. That's
Yeah.
their whole. That's their whole
no
shit.
explanation.
They're like, yeah, we just do it.
I
I'm like,
love
"What's
that
like
movie.
with it?" Great movie. Super
Yeah.
underrated.
I
movie.
love that movie. The dude that directed
I
Tron
really like
Legacy and
it.
Oblivion and Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah,
and this is his arguably
who is
best movie. Joseph Kosinski,
Oh, okay.
Konsky. I don't remember how to say his last name.
First movie I ever saw with my movie pass card was Only the Brave. I went in, paid no money for
Yo.
my ticket, and I had enough Regal points for a free drink, so I paid $0 and like sat down. I was like, holy shit!
I don't know.
I'm the king.
I don't know if I told y'all. But watching Only the Brave, like 45 minutes in, like everybody in the theater, myself included, we started to smell smoke.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
It was a trip.
Nice.
It's like those 4D theaters when they put in all the
Nah. Like the managers came through. Like we thought it was a legit emergency.
Damn, what happened? What was it? It
I don't
just
remember if
went
they ever
away?
said. Like we all just came back in and finished the movie.
Oh, you actually
It's
left
like,
the theater. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Have
guess.
you considered that it's all in your head and you're just really enjoying the movie?
Yeah.
It's possible.
No, I smell it.
It was in everybody's head.
This Kosinski's guy is really handsome.
I never seen him before.
Very handsome man.
No wonder
He's
Tom
got
Cruise
some-
keeps
he's
him
got-
around.
Yeah, lots of big budget movies here.
Mm-hmm.
What'd he do
Only the
before
Brave,
Tron?
like-
I
It
think
was like-
Tron is his debut, ain't it?
Yeah,
feature.
2010, yeah.
How do you come out of the gate with the best movie of all time? Tron Legacy? Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
I loved that movie when it came out.
Wow.
But Only the Brave, like, a big box office disappointment. Like, they just couldn't get people, like, to go see it. Like, I don't know what it was. But to me, that was, like, Oscar-worthy movie.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it in the theater. I was like, ooh. Like, what was that, 2017? I was like, fucking...
It was like Miles Teller, Josh
Shit.
Brolin,
I've
Jennifer
never even
Connelly,
heard of
Jeff
it.
Bridges.
I saw Oblivion, but I never heard of this one.
Dude, it's so good.
It's
Like, Josh
great.
Brolin is so good as, like, the lead in that movie. But, like, there's a whole group of people. Like, Taylor Kitsch is one of the guys, and who's that guy? Jeff Stoltz. He's always in movies like that, like, as part of it. He's always, like, one of the guys in the movies. Like, he was good. Like, everybody's good in that movie.
One of the guys.
Shit,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
movies,
Now that I see
it's
his
like
face.
Michael Pena is kind of like that, too. Like,
Yeah.
with Moonfall. Like, if it's a movie and it's, like, a ensemble, it's like, well, he's going to be one of the guys.
He's like number
there
6 or whatever. Yeah.
There he is. Like, what was the movie about the army guys with Chris Hemsworth? They were riding on the horse.
12 Strong?
There he is. He's on the horse. Michael Pena, one of the guys. But anyway, I guess that's a disaster movie.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's man-made, fire is its own thing that takes on its own animal, so, I don't know.
True. Good movie, though. If we take anything away from this episode, it's ignore Volcano and go watch Only the Brave.
What
That
about
movie's so good. It's not happy. That some people only like watching happy movies. Like, my parents didn't like Only the Brave.
No, because of it.
I told them to watch it, and then, like, I get a text. It was like, "Why did you have us watch that?" I was like, "Well, it was good."
Why did we endure that pain, Nicholas?
Yeah, the Perfect Storm has a very average rating on Letterboxd, as I checked it this morning. So maybe people don't like depressing stuff. I don't know.
So, like, I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
I want y'all to talk about it. I haven't seen it because I know it takes place in Indiana. How brilliant is Hard Rain?
Oh, you mean the flood?
It's so hard.
It rains so hard.
What's the one with
It's-
Michael Douglas in Japan? Why does that?
That's Black
That's
Rain.
That's Black Rain.
I'm trying to think.
Wrong
Hard
Rain.
Rain was.
And then before that, we got Purple Rain.
Hard Rain was Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
Wow, I've
Freeman.
never heard of this one.
And Randy
It
Quaid,
rained
that other crazy
So
Randy.
hard.
There's a Randy. there's a Randy and Indiana. This is
This
the
movie's
greatest
made
movie of
for you.
all time.
Yeah. What the heck?
It's raining and pouring.
Very
and they
hard.
are
Aren't
in
they,
it,
like-
and it is hard.
But,
Aren't they trying to like rob a bank or some shit?
yeah, they're
That's
trying to
what it
rob
says.
Yeah.
a truck, actually.
Okay.
And
Wait.
Christian Slater is the, and it's Ed Eisner, right? This is his partner?
Yeah.
Wait, like
There.
Oh.
Rain.
Ed Asner.
old man
Ed
from
Asner,
Up, Ed Asner.
Yeah. And
Oh.
check it out. I remember.
I'm finding this
That's a-
Blu-ray.
I remember the trailer for this because it was it's a really awesome. It's probably hard to find the original title of this movie, and it was on the trailer. It was generic. I'm glad they changed it. It was called The Flood.
Hard Rain is not generic.
Or
No, well,
I'm
it
st-
is. It's not as generic as The Flood.
I'd have still watched it.
It's The Flood. The Hard Rain. It's you know what it is. It's most likely gonna be an action movie. You know, it's The Flood. Which one
Let's
would you-
go.
Yeah, you're right. But
So wait, that movie that came out a couple years ago, the Hurricane Heist,
I wanted to bring
was
that
like
up too.
a ripoff.
Oh
Of
yeah.
another-
damn.
Shit,
I wanted
So
to
you
bring up
haven't seen
Hurricane
this,
Heist
Melissa?
too.
Hard Rain.
No, come on.
it's like Hard Rain. You
I've
get that
never
side
heard of
movie
it.
from
I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Oh. So Randy, oh man, it's not Randy
I'll be-
Quaid in this movie. I'm not gonna spoil it. He
Legend.
gives in
You can spoil it for me, but maybe Randy wants to see
I'll
it.
No,
be
I-
honest, when you said
I
Hard
want to
Rain,
watch
immediately
this.
Randy,
thought of
yeah,
it.
Randy.
You haven't seen it, Randy?
No,
Oh, okay, I'm gonna spoil it.
I know
Randy-
the gist.
Randy Quaid
Randy-
gives the most awesome monologue in this movie. It's during Nick. You seen it? Don't
I'm
remember.
just gonna say no, because like I know it, but I probably watched it like as a kid, like
He
in
was too
passing.
young. Yeah.
But like that's what I said. Like I
When did it
immediately
come
thought
out?
of
98?
98?
I about to say I want to say 98.
Yeah, I was
Yeah. So if you
I
is it even
probably
available
saw it.
anywhere?
Good
I say-
question.
I think so.
I recommend it. It's goofy, silly, but it has
It's a '90s action movie.
it's all that. I'm
Yeah.
speaking this with the Universal
good enough
Soldier,
endorsement.
another Emmerich movie. But it's entertaining. It's not goofy to the point where it's just ridiculous. It's a movie. It's a heist movie that takes place during the flood.
It's on Blu-ray, but it looks like it's like hard to find.
Hmm.
Damn.
I would imagine.
Let's go back to my store. So apparently, I find things there.
So it's for rent on Apple TV for $4.
Yeah, I saw
Bet.
that Apple TV. Yeah.
And yeah, it's not even for rent. It's not even for rent on Prime, which is nuts. Everything's for rent on there.
Except your
It's
soul.
hard rain. I call it easy to rent rain.
and Morgan Freeman.
Sure.
Morgan Freeman's in the movie, so that's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman as
Well,
the villain.
It's on Voodoo.
Spoiler.
Well, that's in the trailer, but he's
The rain.
he's the,
Ugh.
and there's a couple other who else is in the movie? I forget her name. Nick, help me out. God, dog it. What am I paying you for?
Now, I have to Google
What
it.
am I paying
I
you?
can only like.
Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver.
oh,
Betty
Yeah,
White's
she's
in
the
this.
female lead.
my mom and I love Minnie Driver.
I like some.
Yeah, Betty White is in it. She's a stubborn business owner that doesn't want to leave the town. Is she Betty White? She's
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
She was also in Lake Placid that year.
Yeah, she has the most fantastic line in film cinema history in Lake Placid. Y'all know the line.
No, I want to see it. I want to see it.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Your friends.
You pump the brakes. After the break, we're gonna talk Gators.
Hard Rain is on Cinemax Go.
Oh, there we go. Cinemax
Did you-
Go.
Shit.
Is it pause?
Yeah, we close enough. We might as well pause.
Cinemax Go.
All right. So after that magical discussion about Hard Rain, let's.
So
I guess let's keep it weather related, but throw some alligators in there, or were they crocodiles? Because Crawl was pretty good. Were me and Nick
That
the only
count?
ones that saw Crawl? It's a weather thing.
I guess I loved Crawl. I thought Crawl was great.
Wasn't Crawl a hurricane?
Yeah, something. Yeah, they came floating in
Yeah.
with the hurricane. But Sharknado is stupid. But the Crawl alligators, I think they were alligators, or crocodiles. Definitely one of the two.
They were green with a snout.
Yeah, definitely alligators or crocodiles.
Allidiles.
Yeah, that movie scared me. I said like I saw that in the theater and then went out to my car and like made sure there were no like alligators in the backseat. It was like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, that shit was good. So Nick, you haven't sat through one Sharknado?
I haven't. I can honestly say I never watched.
You're the only one on this panel that I would have pegged as at least giving it a chance.
I gave it a shot. It's the new Ian Ziering. Of course, I watched it. No.
Should we just talk about Emmerich's 3 movies?
What was special about Sharknado?
Well, yeah,
like they had movies like that all the time on that channel.
Yeah.
there's a lot of apocalypse movies.
Yeah, it's always like dragon, end of the world, but with dragons. End of the world, but with fighters. End of the world, just period. Like, okay,
I'll look up Roland.
this one's like end of the world, sharks.
I think,
Okay.
including Moonfall, he's got like 3 really big, like, end of the world global disaster movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I missing some?
Pretty much. Like looking at his thing, like I was like, he's kind of the disaster guy, but he really only has like a couple.
Right.
No, they
I thought
all
he had
are,
more.
except aliens are not well, you can
That's
argue.
like like Independence Day.
Aliens
Is,
are natural though.
yeah, like Independence Day is like kind of considered a disaster movie. It's like same with like Godzilla, but they aren't like natural disaster. It's just kind of like destruction.
Right.
We really only got
Yeah, you're right. It's like an enemy coming to fight. It's not really like.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, if we're talking about natural disaster movies, we can't talk about Moonfall.
No.
Nope.
After
Sorry,
seeing
not
it,
spoiler
kind of
thing.
not.
Oh wow! Of course. Yeah, because you can't talk about what's the name neither. What's the movie? Because I guess if it's trying not to spoil
It's
it.
something that happens naturally. Like holy shit.
Right. If there's a human element that makes it happen, is it still like the movie with it's Geostorm?
Yes, so I consider that a disaster movie.
Yeah.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah, it just wasn't popular at all. It was better than Moonfall.
Wow.
My opinion on Geostorm wasn't very high, but like I didn't. It was more just like blah. Like it was just kind of like another one.
Moonfall is going to end up on so many end of the year worst lists.
Mm.
Yeah.
Probably all of them.
I've got one worse than it right now.
So do I.
Ice Age.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, really?
Yeah.
I feel bad though, like making fun of Ice Age. Like I don't feel bad about making fun of Moonfall. I'm like, man, fuck Moonfall. Fuck Ice Age. That like Ice Age. It's for kids.
So before we
Ice Age
start on, what's that?
Is Ice Age a disaster movie?
Yeah.
There's
The
a lot of
Meltdown?
these like futuristic or past or apocalypse or anyway.
Ice Age, the meltdown. Everything's melting, and they're like,
So before we talk about Emmerich, I want to talk about. I think we talked about one of the movies off air, but another twin set of movies, disaster movies. We talked about Deep Impact a little bit. We didn't mention Armageddon, or did we really talk about it?
I was going to.
No, we never talked about it yet.
If you would let me just maneuver and steer and get there.
Oh, we got to close out with Emmerich.
Oh.
we talked about Hard Rain. Probably way more than we should.
I doesn't want us to forget about it.
Yeah, we're definitely. I don't want to miss a thing, so we're definitely going to talk about Armageddon.
Yeah.
He did the thing. He said the thing.
Oh man.
I love Armageddon. Bad Boys, The Rock, Armageddon's like Michael Bay's top 3.
I like Armageddon. It's fun. Like I agree. It's one of Michael Bay's like better movies. Which isn't saying much, really.
I take that back. I have it ranked 6th.
Yeah, like
that makes more sense.
I was thinking about this last week, like who's a better director, Michael Bay or Roland Emmerich?
Michael Bay.
I
love Bad Boys way too much.
They're like kind of twins.
I don't know.
Oh shit! Independence Day. Yeah, sorry. I guess they're about par.
Michael Bay is kind of consistently shitty. Like he doesn't have one that's like holy shit. That's like the best movie.
I love the first Transformers. That's my.
But the thing is, the funny thing is about Bay is he's not a bad director per se.
I picked Bay.
He's lazy.
He's lazy story-wise. His character story-wise, you press mute and see what's going on with his movie. Bay's a great director.
Ooh.
He makes shit look, you know what I'm saying? Look at these Transformer movies.
Emmerich,
he knows how to direct action. He knows how to direct visual effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Emmerich is way less in your face.
Yeah, no, definitely. Michael Bay is just...
I did my Emmerich ranking list. And the spectrum of my ratings was like wild to me because like I've got his highest. Like I think The Patriot, The Patriot is not as good a movie as I think it is. I just think it's this great. To me, The Patriot just works on like pretty much every level. Like if you can buy into like the hoorah-ness of it, it's so fucking good. Like I could die. And then, like, I've got, like, Stonewall as last, which I watched the other day and was like, holy shit, this is, like, the worst movie I've ever seen. And it's, like, the spectrum is, like, a 5.5 or, like, a 4.5 to, like, a 1.5.
And what do you think, like, midway?
Michael Bay is, like, 3 to 2. Like, everything he did, like, I felt like Roland Emmerich, like, tried his hand. Like, he did his disaster shit. And then they were like, well, here, do The Patriot. Like, here's your Titanic. Try it out.
Right.
And I thought The Patriot was great. I was like, damn, dude, he really did that. Michael Bay did Pearl Harbor. They're like, here's your Titanic. We even got a song. It's going to be great.
Gross.
It sucked. Like, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I like Bay a lot. Like, I know Randy likes The Day After Tomorrow, right? I remember seeing that in the theater and hating it. So
Dude, like, as far as Roland Emmerich disaster movies... As far as Roland Emmerich disaster movies, The Day After Tomorrow is his Casablanca.
Yeah. know.
Wow. Well,
know.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Don't
right.
include Independence Day, then yeah.
They're not counting Independence Day,
It's-
right? Because
no,
Nah.
that's my
Okay.
favorite Roland Emmerich movie.
Independence Day is like 2 Casablancas.
Because it's
Yeah.
like the day after tomorrow, like all felt natural as far as the weather and the disaster and even the human element stories. 2012 is let's set up this scene to show this big special effects thing and then move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Moonfall is
I
a
like-
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 2012. 2012 is just it's just like more. It's like let's do a day
Yeah.
after tomorrow bigger. And
Yeah.
it's like it works.
Yep.
And like especially with how long it is, like it could suck way worse than it does. Like I remember seeing it in the theater and being like real into it. Like I was like, oh my god, dude! Like this is my nerves. Like I just remember, like for some reason I always think of that movie, all the big effects and all the stuff. But like there's the scene where he's putting the life jackets on his kids and the little girl's like, I'm not a very good swimmer. I was like, you see, well, Michael Bay wouldn't have put that in his movie. Like it's just little things. And I'm like, this is
Michael
great.
Bay would have had that scene in his movie, and he would have had them arguing and something stupid or some dogs humping or something.
Yeah.
The moon's flare, she was talking to like a shark about swimming or something, and the shark.
No,
Like it would have.
the kid would have just got thrown into the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you're gonna
Well, you're gonna learn today. There would have been the Kevin Hart reference.
Yeah, it would have been like the kid's partner in swimming would have been like Anthony Anderson or something, and like there would have been wisecracks, and it would have been real funny.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
almost like
That all the time. I'm like,
what's
for
the
all
movie?
those two movies are kind of like companion pieces. I'm like,
Yeah.
what makes them like come home, like they hobble to the finish line? It's like the actors are all like committed to it. Moonfall almost had that for me. Like
Almost had it.
actors in Moonfall were doing their job. The writing was shit.
Dude, like this Moonfall to me was the day after. So it started as the day after tomorrow, and it ended as Independence Day Resurgence.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair. I like even I was even comparing it like the one part in Day After Tomorrow that I think is like kind of more dumb than fun is the wolves. We didn't need the wolf chase. It's crazy enough that they're getting on the boat and going out into the storm. It's like that's the scene. But it's like, oh fuck, there's wolves. So like now we're running away.
Of course
from
there is.
Like it's fun, but it's very stupid. I was comparing Moonfall to that, like not to spoil anything, but like there's a car chase in the middle of all the shit.
Yeah.
Eric, how do
And
you?
I'm like, this is stupid, but it's kind of like the wolves. Like I was like, this is the wolf scene.
Bro, it's like
Then it got dumber than that.
Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, John Bradley were doing their thing, and then and when it got like really interesting, they'd cut away to something back on Earth. It's like, bruh, I don't care.
That's hilarious.
Another weird thing about Moonfall that I just didn't understand the choice. Like it's like, so you talk about movies about like ex-wives and ex-husbands like struggling together. Like, why was this like half of the movie was like they all have ex-wives. Like she has an ex-husband and he's really concerned about her. And he's got an ex-wife and she's got a new husband and a son and they're all concerned over here. And I'm like, couldn't they have all just? I don't know. Like for the sake of like sanity, couldn't they have all just been a family instead of having to explain the dynamic? And it's like my ex-wife is up there. Why do you care about your ex-wife? Anyway,
That sounds so funny.
I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time,
Oh man,
I was on a 3 for like most of the movie until about maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes left of it.
yeah.
And I was like, I can't sanction this anymore. Like this is so stupid. Like I thought the actors like Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson, I thought they were getting it done. They weren't doing anything crazy, but like they were leading the movie, and like I bought them as their character. And like Game of Thrones, dude, his writing was pretty shitty,
Yeah.
but like he's getting it done. Like he was doing it. Like he was being the character that was written for him. He was doing fine. It got to this point where something happens.
It takes such a hard, violent left turn.
I can't do this. I can't give this a 3 now. I have to give it under a 3. I didn't hate it. I'll probably buy it. I'll probably even
Yeah.
You gotta buy.
Wow.
I'll probably even watch it again, like at some point in my life. But I didn't hate it. Like when I hate a movie, I tell the world that I hated the movie. I didn't hate it. It was just like, oh no.
Jeez,
Everybody's just like,
what?
it's dumb fun. Like, don't you? What do you expect? Like, it's so fun. I'm like, well, I went in expecting dumb fun.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Test. Like, it was like
I could have fully been on board for, hey, this happened, and now the moon is headed right for Earth. That's
like,
what I thought we were getting.
Yeah. So, waiting on demand for this one.
It's like, bro, it's like Roland Emmerich was making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like added mayonnaise to that shit.
Yeah, what if you thought I was gonna put on bananas? Fuck you, mayonnaise. It's like, oh no.
Damn, y'all are tearing this apart.
Well, I said, like, if you'd have given me 20 guesses as to why the moon was falling, I don't know if I'd have landed on the reason that it was falling. Like,
No kidding.
I'm like, oh no, an asteroid hit it.
I'm telling you, like,
no.
you sent us, you in the Twitter thread, you sent us this kid who had never seen a Roland Emmerich movie before bashing this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, if you've seen his movies, you know you're not getting high art. But
I knew that.
Moonfall makes not getting high art look like high art. Like I told you, he out Roland Emmerich himself.
Okay, is it worse than Resurgence?
I'd say I don't hate Resurgence.
I gave him the same score.
I think it's as good as Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah.
I don't hate Resurgence. It was just like, wow.
Both of them are side by side. Which one you watch?
Probably Resurgence.
I think I've got Moonfall ranked like a notch or two higher.
Okay, how about this? Both of them in your collection. One goes in the trash. Which one?
Can I just go to sleep?
Yeah. You know what? Just out of loyalty, I'd probably throw Moonfall away.
Yeah.
Just because it's like Independence Day is a sequel to a movie that I really like.
I got you.
But that would be it. That would be the only glue. Like, it's like, but do you want to watch it? No, not really.
Damn.
The next time I watch Independence Day Resurgence is if I'm doing a full Roland Emmerich binge or if Independence Day 3 comes out.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I watched Resurgence like last year. Like, I don't hate it. It's just kind of like, especially now knowing that it's not very good. Like watching it again, I was like, yeah, whatever.
Do you think it's worth me watching?
No.
No, I'm not gonna bother with. I don't think I'm gonna bother with Moon.
Y'all kind of need to see it just to see what happens, just to see the absurdity.
I'm curious about this. The reason for the moon falling.
I don't think it's like I feel like we're overselling it a little bit. Like it's not like a Serenity level like turn.
Serenity.
Wow. But it's not what you expect.
Like, if you see the setup in the first 5 minutes and really think about it, it's not that random.
It didn't like pull the rug out from underneath me.
Yeah.
It was more like I was hoping this wouldn't be this stupid. And now I'm the fool now.
That's exactly it.
Everyone told me, wow, this movie looks stupid. And I'm like, you just don't get cinema. And now here I am.
Yeah, I was shocked that Randy based the whole podcast around, but he hadn't seen the movie yet. So.
I mean, like, we're talking about way better movies than Moonfall for sure.
This is
natural disaster movies in general are fun.
Yeah,
I think I've got like Day After Tomorrow ranked like 3rd in his filmography, and like 2012 is like 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Most of those movies are like better than his like other stuff. Like White House Down is like fine to me, but it's kind of just like a generic buddy action.
What about Midway? I mentioned that. What do you think about Midway?
It's a better movie about Pearl Harbor than the movie Pearl Harbor.
I think Midway's a solid 3.
Yeah.
I gave Midway a 3, and I didn't rewatch it this week. I haven't rewatched it since the theater. But like, it could be a 3.5. Like if I gave it a 3.5, like I probably wouldn't regret my life.
Yeah.
So y'all asked the question, and now that I had time to think about it, who's the better director overall? It's definitely Michael Bay.
For me too.
And I'm not checking it out.
I like a shocking amount of Michael Bay movies.
It's Michael Bay. One of the things I thought about while y'all were destroying Moonfall
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about is Michael Bay.
Way too hard into it. Like, it wasn't as bad as to me. I don't think it was as bad as like we're ripping it apart.
I want to gotta see it.
Everyone ripped it apart, not just you.
Yeah. But Bay's movies outside of his let's call it outside of his familiar territory are better than Emmerich's movies outside of his territory.
Yeah.
So
I disagree.
No, I mean 13. So what movies can you compare to 13 hours?
I was about to say I'd take 13 hours.
And what movies
or Pain and Gain
compared to Pain and Gain?
It's like
I misunderstood the question. I don't watch anything outside of his normal shit.
Most of this is opinion based. Like, I would say, like,
yeah, for
like
sure.
I said, to me, The Patriot is like this masterpiece that should have
You love The Patriot. I knew that before this podcast.
Yeah.
To
you
me,
bring it up every time.
To me, Jason Isaacs in The Patriot, that's like top 5 movie villains. Like, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. So you got The Patriot. What else though?
Check it out. Let me squash this.
Michael Bay's best movie to me is probably like The Rock.
Right.
Number 1 is Bad Boys, FYI. Anyway.
Like The Rock, even like Bad Boys, like those aren't masterpieces. Like,
no, they're not gonna be that. Between the two, they're not going to be what we consider objective masterpieces. We're just comparison between the two filmographies.
Like
anyways, both of those movies kick ass.
They're great movies I love to watch. But like I said, I know The Patriot is probably not as good as I think it is. But I put it like on a higher pedestal. I'm like, dude, that's like
it's one of his better movies. But what else besides The Patriot?
Yeah, name one other movie.
Nothing. He did
I
nothing.
Agree.
Look, check it out.
Independence
Independence Day is like better than The Rock.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's the only good Roland movie, in my opinion. Independence.
And then
listen.
I think The Day After Tomorrow is better than Armageddon.
No.
Like, if we're side by side, like,
I can't. That one.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
I think it is.
Nah.
Armageddon's got the song. That's about it.
Listen, Nicholas.
No.
Nicholas. Nicholas.
Go back to The Patriot.
In like 2 months, Ambulance could have the most egregious left turn plot twist ever, and it won't be as bad as Moonfall.
I don't know.
I know.
Randy's right.
But check it out though.
I know.
Also, another thing about Bay is, okay, we try to do that.
Unless it's like Crash.
Hey, baby.
I give it. And one thing with Bay is he's more so consistent in what he does and what he does. Like I said, with his filmmaking, not his storytelling.
That's
2 different
true.
things. You know what I mean? Emmerich.
That's true, but it's like quality wise, it's usually not great.
That's what
It's
I mean.
like,
That's when the story comes. That's Bay's weakness is his character and his story.
Yeah.
Bay wants to blow shit up and he's good at it.
But it's like
And it's
it's
entertaining.
I actually like the stories of his movies that I like.
Yeah, no, give me Bad Boys. Yeah, that's
I even like I love the first Transformers. Just
me too. Yeah, that's the good one. And the third one was okay.
Yeah.
The Rock. These are all great.
Yeah, those great movies.
There are 2
those
decent
great.
Transformers movies.
How many movies does Emmerich have in the Criterion collection? I knew it.
It's The Patriot. Anyways, yeah.
I'm Nick. I'm this purpose. I knew you got to do it.
Not even a contest for me.
Criterion collection.
I know. I'm just messing with him. The only reason he has that in because his professor is on a Criterion board, so I'm just screwing with you with that one.
I was gonna say it used to be different than it is now.
Yeah. But
like,
no, it's interesting. Like I said, watch one of Bay's most underrated movies. It's 13 hours. Watch that movie. You wouldn't even think it's a Bay movie. He suppresses himself with his Bayisms in that movie. He cares about the characters. The movie is
like a Michael Bay movie.
What's that?
Like I absolutely think it's one of his better ones, and I'm probably going for Ambulance. But it's still
Who came up with this debate? Because I can't believe how heated I'm getting. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
This is such a good question.
Yo,
this is like one of the best questions.
Yeah. I was thinking
but
about
what's that movie? What's that movie you named, Nick, that you said was horrible from Emmerich? We talked about earlier, the non-action movie where he was
Stonewall.
Okay, Stonewall.
On a plate movie. But that's like his worst movie, like easily. Like I've got that at like 1.5.
That's where I'm getting at.
Next one is
Emmerich's worst movie compared to Bay's worst movie.
Transformers 2?
Yeah, it's Transformers sequels, Six
Which one would
Underground,
you
Pearl
rather want to
Harbor.
watch? That's my question.
There's like 3 horrible Transformers movies.
Yeah, that's true. The second one I think is the worst. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
But which worst movie from each director would you want to watch over the other?
Probably Transformers, simply because
It's a
it's
sequel.
bad. But it's the same thing with Independence Day. It's like just because I know
Yeah, it is.
they're robots.
Wait, so
But that movie's
Stonewall is worse than Moonfall, Nick?
yes, dude, Stonewall's so bad. Like, it's bad in a whole different way. It's bad in like a disrespectful.
It's not even bad in an entertaining way.
Because like it's like based on a true story, and he just butchered the shit, right?
Like this famous gay liberation movement, the Stonewall riots in like 1969.
Yeah.
And instead of it being about that and being the true like build up to that, it's like this stupid coming of age. Like, it's the
generic,
kid from
yeah.
Never seen War Horse. Pretty beautiful little white boy. He comes to town and he's like, "Oh, everyone here is gay," and all the gay people are like these straight actors in like fucking like dresses, and they're like, "Oh, Poppy, you're here. Oh, look who's here, City Boy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's all the time." And the whole movie is like this coming of age thing of him discovering that he's gay and ended up being the guy who threw the first brick. And I'm like, fuck this, dude. Like, on. And like every character is like this cliche, and like the cops are like this over the top, even for like as shitty as I know cops were to homosexuals in that day and still are. It was like, to me, I was watching, I was like, come on, dude. Like, this is so, and it got worse. It got progressively worse, which is always fun to watch a movie that like gets worse. But I made it.
I got one for you, and I think this is an easy landslide win. Director trademarks. Now, you could throw a rock at a Michael Bay movie and know it's a Michael Bay movie. I don't think you can do that with an Emmerich movie. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but that's just an observation from me.
Well, I don't know if you've seen The Patriot. Like he's got a couple movies. Like he did that movie Anonymous, Amadeus. I had never seen it. And if you watch that movie, I would never guess it's directed by Roland Emmerich.
It's an Emmerich movie.
Well, you told me it was directed by the guy who directed The Patriot. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Oh my God, it's an all Patriot.
Check it out. So,
Patriot,
my last podcast, the Sigmund Cinema podcast, go listen. I talk about one of what
on
I think
Good
is Emmerich's
Pods.
underrated movies. On Good Pods, yeah. It's Universal Soldier. I admit, it's a goofy action movie that's a holdover from the 80s. Came out in 92. I think that's one of Emmerich's overall better movies for what it is. I'm not talking about his winning awards. It's not winning anything but acting. I think it's entertaining, just what it is. A goofy throwaway action movie.
I like
with Van Damme.
Yeah,
it's probably the best Terminator ripoff.
Oh, of course. Those comparisons were out in the day because Terminator 2 came out a year before.
It's a ripoff of Terminator.
Yeah. But it's a good one.
But it's solid.
At least do it well.
I like Universal Soldier.
You're gonna rip it off, and nobody knows about making contact. I'm gonna say thank you, Nick.
I do.
You remember seeing this movie? It's such a. I'm gonna send y'all a trailer, Melissa, and it's one of Emmerich's earlier movies. It was even produced in Germany. It like came out 85 or something.
Yeah, it's like dubbed. If you watch it like U.S. version, it's like dubbed.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And Stargate,
Stargate's good. I don't understand why, I've never understood why it set off like a phenomenon. Like, there was like TV shows.
Yeah, there's like 18,000 TV shows.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, was Stargate that, unbelievable? Like, was it like that?
It's like amazing? 3 legit different TV shows that all lasted 5 or more seasons.
Wow.
SG-1.
Yeah, Stargate, SG-1, the other one, Atlantis.
Wow.
But the movie itself, it's just, the thing is, it's a good movie, and the second act is so boring.
Kinda. Like, when they actually get on the place, and it's like, they're dealing with the people, and he's like, this is a lighter. This is a gun. And it's like, dude.
Yeah. And Kurt Russell, I love Kurt Russell. For the most part of the movie, he seems so bored. I've never seen Kurt Russell like that in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I understand he's supposed to be, his character lost someone. He's supposed to be all depressed and stuff like that. But that's not the case. I don't know. The third act, Russell just pops to life when, and James Spader admitted this is a paycheck movie. He got paid $1 million. He said he said it, and I quote, he said, sometime, don't matter if the script is shitty, you just got to take the fucking money. End quote. James Spader said that.
Like Gene Hackman.
It could have been a worse movie. Like, you take a paycheck role and it ends up being Stargate. Like, that's, you did fine.
Yeah.
I like Stargate. I just think, like, I've never really understood why it was, like, this massive. I don't remember, like, as a kid, I don't remember people, like, loving Stargate.
No, it wasn't it wasn't the biggest hit in the world. It was blah. I remember seeing that in theaters, and yeah.
It was cool. Like, I like it. I remember people losing their minds over Independence Day. I remember that being, like, it was so popular.
How about this? I got another one for you. I'm just throwing crap. I'm going to be fair and start from Independence Day. I could start from Universal Soldier, but let's do it from Independence Day because Michael Bay, that would just be unfair. So, do the three hits. Michael Bay's first three movies, and then Emmerich's first three movies from Independence Day. So Independence Day and his two movies after that.
Godzilla and the Patriot.
Hey,
oh shit.
Well, we know what I was gonna say.
Godzilla doesn't count.
So what's Michael Bay's, Randy? Is Bad Boys, The
From
Rock?
Michael Bay's first three, or is three starting in 96?
Yeah, starting from Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, The Rock, Armageddon, Independence Day, Godzilla, The Patriot.
That crushes it.
Yeah, I give it to Bay.
I don't even love Armageddon.
Yeah,
No.
The Patriots.
Eric, you already know what all of our votes are, okay?
I'm just curious I'm trying to mix it up. Make it
If you
fun.
got the
opinion
scale,
of the Patriot is never going to change.
no, fuck that. If you got the scale, and you're like, okay, Independence Day, The Rock, Armageddon, they're all about as good as one another, right? Like maybe a little. Like
they both had movies in those same years, because Bay would be The Rock, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor.
Fuck Pearl Harbor. Like,
Yeah, I get that. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
But you know what?
Pearl Harbor
It's
sucks.
jacked up.
The Rock, Armageddon on like one thing. It's like, yeah, okay. And then it's like over here, it's like Independence Day, Godzilla. But then you put the Patriot, and it's like, whoa.
We know.
It's the Patriot.
Like, wow.
Yeah, Godzilla's
but you know
ass.
what? The way you feel about the Patriot, that's how I feel about Bad Boy. I can't even understand someone not thinking that it's.
So I've seen.
Yeah, I fucking love Bad Boys.
It's not.
Oh yes.
Bad Boys. I think I got all three at like the same rating.
Which is what? 3?
Like 3.5.
Bad Boys is 6.
Above average.
I love Bad Boys just as much as you love the Patriots, so I get it.
I didn't know we were still talking about Emery versus Bay.
Yeah, I'm just
It's been like an hour of this.
prolonging it.
But
But anyway, back to Emery.
Me and Nick screaming, yeah.
Let's reset and talk about Armageddon.
The
Yeah.
Patriot. It's a disaster.
I don't remember Armageddon that well. I know that my brother has watched it a million times, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a great companion. So Deep Impact. It's a real talky movie.
With no porn.
With no porn. What the?
Yeah, what the?
But if I had to choose which one I was gonna watch between the two, Armageddon and Deep Impact, it'd be Armageddon. Armageddon is so much more, even though an impending world ending of the world. It's a really fun movie. It's so, and this is I think when Bay was coming into his Bayism.
It hits that emotion at the end.
Oh god.
It's one of his better ones. Like that's why I always say like Pearl Harbor to me was like his moment. Like they were like, look, we let James Cameron do Titanic and look at that. But here's your moment. You did The Rock and Armageddon. Dumb, silly movies, but kind of prestigious in their way. Like Armageddon is stupid, but like it had the song, it had the romance, and so it was like, okay, this is cool. And then like he just fumbled the ball. Like it was just like, here's your Pearl Harbor. Do this. Make this work. And it was like, fuck you guys. Like I'm just gonna do
It's like okay, Bay, I guess I don't know what it is. Emotion isn't his thing, I guess. But Pearl Harbor, it sucks. It's based on a real event. When the action starts,
the action, like
it's the most amazing thing you ever seen in that movie, especially the director's cut of Pearl Harbor. If you've seen it, I recommend it if you haven't.
Bruce Willis sacrificing himself. Waterworks.
Yeah, I always thought I preferred Deep Impact, but I was telling you guys off air that I rewatched it, and I was like, I don't love this. So now I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Deep Impact, I mean, it's probably, if you want to go there, objectively the better movie, filmmaking wise and script wise and
I get
acting.
why you're saying Armageddon is fun, because Deep Impact is not fun.
No, it's
it's like serious, and I'm not raring to watch Deep Impact again. I'll tell you that.
Not fun. Some movies are just a disaster. Like The Perfect Storm. It's not fun.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. It's why I'm so curious to see Babe with the ambulance, if he's gonna inject any of that silly humor. There's the movie Six Underground. Who's seen it? Look at Melissa. Like, yep. So the perfect example, I think, where Babe can't help himself. So Corey Hawkins in the movie Six Underground, he's talking to Deadpool, and he's talking to Ryan Reynolds, and Corey Hawkins is watching his own funeral because he had to fake his death, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he's watching his own funeral, and his family is crying, and Corey Hawkins makes this fantastic emotional speech, and it's cutting back and forth between Ryan Reynolds and Corey Hawkins and the funeral, which they're on a hill watching. Okay. And then it cuts to his family. I missed him so much. After Corey Hawkins give this awesome speech, I'm like, babe, you just can't help yourself, can you?
Like someone should make a fart joke.
Yeah, oh my God, like Corey Hawkins was going in.
We don't need a joke, Michael Bay.
Yeah, just pull back a bit. And he did that in 13 hours. There is none of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like that movie so much.
Six Underground was ass.
Yeah, Six Underground, but it opens up with that fantastic action scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bay is an anomaly among filmmakers.
He just zero. He can't do subtlety. Like in Pearl Harbor, like you said, like the action scenes are great, but like as soon as something starts happening, Ben Affleck, they're like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I think World War II just started."
Oh my God!
Fucking kill yourself, dude.
And
like,
it's just the dialogue is like there's a time jump. There's a time jump in Pearl Harbor, like 6 months, and like 2 minutes later, like, don't you make me wait another 6 months for you?
Don't make me wait another 6 months.
Yo.
But I love Michael Bay. You get it.
Patriot.
All of this Michael Bay versus Roland Emmerich shit.
I don't know how it's Armageddon.
It took over the discussion that we were gonna have about The Happening and Contagion and shit like that. Let's hit these last 15, 20 minutes. Let's hit these last 15, 20 minutes and really talk about The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, and close this shit out with Roland Emmerich.
It's like that meme about the dude when you don't talk about Michael Bay versus like.
Like I can't make fun of Michael Bay anymore.
Right, so what are we talking about? The Happening?
Nah, we're not talking about the airborne disasters anymore because making fun of Nick and the little 5 minutes we ganged up on Nick.
I won the debate. The Patriot wins.
Are we? Okay. Are we? We're still recording, or?
Yeah.
Yes. So
all right, go ahead, Randy. Take us, dig us out.
The Day After Tomorrow, and slacker deadbeat dad Dennis Quaid, noticing that the fault lines were spreading apart and the ice caps, and trying to get everybody to evacuate and go south, is a good movie.
It is.
Yes.
No, I hated it.
Is it a good film?
It's his best. If you, by comparison, it's his best disaster movie.
Martin Scorsese would call it cinema.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
is it
my
high art?
god.
Yeah. But like,
It's a
I
terrible
think as far as
movie.
disasters movies,
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
of it as kind of the template, even though it's not. It's what I think of when it's like, what's a disaster movie? I'm like, the Statue of Liberty covered in snow. That's just what comes to mind. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
David Martin. Not saying it's the best, but I'm just like, nope. They did something right. That's what
Mother,
out of-
Mother Nature just said fuck it, and humans had to survive.
Yep. And like I said, like Moonfall was so stupid. I don't think of The Day After Tomorrow as stupid. It's like dumb fun at times.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The difference between just silly and stupid.
Yeah. Like it's like, oh, it's fun. It's a fun type of
Fine
popcorn.
line, but it's different.
Oh, it's a line. And like I don't think other than like the wolves is probably the dumbest part. Everything else about the movie, it's like, oh shit, he's trying to make a phone call and it's filling up with water. Oh
Yeah.
shit, the boat's here. Like it's like it's silly, but it's like it's a disaster. That's the only part. They get on the boat and there's wolves. They could have even had the wolves walking around like outside while they were in the library. They could have been looking out and been like, oh shit, the zoo.
Yeah, they didn't even set it up. They just appeared, right?
Yeah, they were just kind of in there chilling. And I was like, well, I guess they want the food.
Yeah.
Why were they on?
Oh, man.
But,
Yes.
yeah.
What else? Okay, Day After Tomorrow. Yeah.
Nah, I told
I
y'all.
guess it's like choosing from.
Dennis
I like it.
Quaid.
Good. I don't think, and it's like Jake Gyllenhaal is kind of like the lead guy, and he's not like a stereotypical like action guy. It's not like he's running around with a gun trying to shoot the water.
I'm curious. So Gyllenhaal and supposedly, no, he's actually said this. Gyllenhaal and Emmerich actually, Gyllenhaal had a lot to say about his character to Emmerich. He said, "I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that." You know, he was the thespian of Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he wanted.
I'm curious what that was exactly.
At the time,
Like a
when he
kid my age wouldn't say this.
yeah, I remember hearing that at the time, like when he was making like Jarhead and stuff. Like he
Yeah.
was kind of like big head, but he got over it. Clearly, because he's doing a Michael Bay movie now, he clearly got.
Well, he's working with the better director. But anyway, what
Yo.
else?
Yeah. Moving on up.
But yo, Dennis Quaid was trying to keep him in place, right? And then he was like trying to walk from Washington D.C. to New York. It was like,
Yeah.
I walk this far all the time.
I've walked farther than that. I'm like, you've walked farther than DC to New York in like the worst storm in recorded history.
Wow, that was actually in the movie. He did say that.
And then they fell
Well,
through the mall roof or
Yeah.
whatever.
They drove, what, like, was it halfway or something like that? And he goes, we're walking from here. It's like this big
Yeah.
traumatic thing. It's a good movie. Fuck it.
Okay, I admit it's almost 20 years ago. I don't remember. All I remember is I hated it. But this is what I wrote down at the time. That Randy Quaid got two men to risk their lives for his son, Jake Gyllenhaal, whose life wasn't even in peril. Is that the case?
Everyone's life was in peril.
Yeah.
Everyone everywhere.
And
He
those
was like,
two guys were like, "Yeah, sign me up. We'll risk our lives to help your son. That
But
who cares?"
I mean,
it is
That's what I wrote down.
what he thinks, like,
Not
he's
no.
like, oh, my son needs me. It's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. It's like, not
Yeah,
no,
I'm
but
gonna
everybody was at
I'm gonna
risk.
Save myself, not your random son. Who cares? That's what I would say.
And also in defense of the character, the two guys, he doesn't invite the two guys. They insist on going.
Even worse.
It's the classic, like, navigate or the dam without me. It's like, think I'm going to let you have all the fun? Like, it's the classic, like, what are you doing?
And do those two guys end up dying? I think
One guy dies. Like, of course, the older guy dies, and, like, the young, like...
All for Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like Matt Damon, like everyone has to rescue. Anyway.
I don't understand, like, what's Dennis Quaid's plan? Like, it's not like he shows up in a helicopter. Like, he shows up on foot. Like, he's like, guys, I'm here.
Yeah.
What now? Like, now you're stuck in the library. Like, we're here.
Yeah. Sounds right. Sounds about right.
That's funny.
But that, I can deal with that. Like, that's fun. Like, that's silly. Like, typical silly disaster movie. It's not like fuck this. Like, this is stupid. Moonfall does that. Like, Moonfall crossed over the line where I was like, nope, I'm done. I don't buy this. This is too weird. Like, this is too stupid. But whatever. Whatever. I like The Day After Tomorrow. I like 2012.
Yeah.
I like The Patriot. I don't know if you've heard. I really think it's a great movie.
All right, Randy, what else we got?
2012.
We got less than 10 minutes, right? 2012.
Yeah. You got the Mayan calendar. The world's gonna eat shit. Chiwetel Ejiofor tried to give everybody a heads up.
Oh, wow.
They kind of planned, but then they were like, "If you're poor, fuck you."
I like the movie. I don't know. There's something about 2012 that like I really got into when I watched. I was like,
Dude, it felt like I said earlier. Let's do this big budget action exciting thing and move on to the next one. And then you got Oliver Platt as the wealthy politician who says fuck everybody. That was the difference for me. That was the difference for me that I put Day After Tomorrow higher.
I would put Day After Tomorrow. I think Day After Tomorrow is shorter. It's about a half hour shorter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow, was 2012 so long?
2012 is long as fuck.
But as long as it
really
was,
thought he had something with that movie.
it's not boring.
No.
I will say about 20. Like, as long as it is, I was never like, come on. Like, there's a lot that happens. There's a lot in 2012. It's kind of like, I compare it to the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's like longer than fuck, and it's so much. Like, it's like, holy shit, that was so much movie. Or like the Transformers with the dinosaur. What was that, the fourth one?
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg. It's like 3 hours, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the movie where he's a scientist?
Yeah. What a great director. Anyway.
I kind of knew what 2012 was going to be before I even saw, well, at least when I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
So, I think it's the initial teaser trailer, but anyway, they're doing this thing where they're showing, the calendar. I don't know if y'all remember that, moving into position or doing something. And I'm like, they talk about, oh, the Mayan calendar predicts. And my brother, I can't take credit for this. My brother leans over. He like, that's the Aztec calendar. I'm like, okay. So we know what this is gonna be. I'm like, hey,
this is gonna be.
But yeah, it's and I'm about 2012. Something that stood out to me the first time I saw this movie twice.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah,
I saw it. Yeah, I took my cousin in there. But anywho, who's what is his name? Is it the boyfriend character? I got, what is his name?
Tom McCarthy.
Tom McCarthy.
Tom McCarthy.
If
famous director now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's right.
Spotlight.
In 2012, there are, in a lot of movies, you have plot devices or character devices, characters in form of plot devices. If he isn't the most blatant plot device for the John Cusack character to realize, because he shows Cusack what you've been missing, and I see now. Okay, I could die now.
One thing that must have been something that happened in Roland Emmerich's life.
Yeah.
Of divorce, because it's always a thing, except in the Day After Tomorrow. But one thing I will give Moonfall, and kind of a spoiler, but like, who gives a shit? Like, I didn't think it going in, but as I was watching it, I was like, if Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry like fall in love, I'm gonna kill myself. Like,
I was expecting it.
I was like, if that ends up being the thing, it's not the thing. And I was like, thank God, because in 2012,
I was expecting that shit.
Yeah, 2012. That's like one thing. It sort of becomes like a reconnecting with my wife kind of, like, your husband just died, or like your boyfriend or whatever just got smashed by the thing. Spoiler, sorry.
Okay.
It's like, like, meantime, like, you're not even gonna mourn his death. You're just gonna kiss your ex-husband.
That's what happens. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, not immediately. It's not like, oh no.
I thought you were
later. No way. But like, it's like a half hour later or so. It's like,
woman.
yeah. It's like, well, at least one good thing came out of this fucking disease.
Yeah, she's like, seize the
If
moment.
we make it through this, we should really try again. It's like, no.
It always has to be like that.
One thing I'll give Moonfall, and a mild spoiler, I guess, is it didn't do that. As much fucking back and forth as it was with, this is my new...
Because why was everyone in Moonfall divorced? It's like, you think they're setting up something, right?
No, like, a part of me thinks, and I don't want to spoil, something that happens in the movie, it's like a past event, and then it goes forward in time. A part of me thinks it's maybe trying to show that this past event affected all these people in this way in the years since.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really the only. It's like, well, I mean, they're all doing fine. They're just, divorced. That happens.
Yeah.
Like, son is grown up now. I mean, it's like, oh no. Like, the thing they do with the son, it's like, wow, shocking. They do that in every movie. But, like, the rest of the movie, his son is fine. He doesn't, like, hate his dad. So I'm like, oh, well, he seemed to have adjusted okay to this new life. It's just kind of like, man, he had to have written that in there. Like, what if they were all divorced? What if it was, like, the opposite of the Brady Bunch? I guess. But, yeah, 2012 wasn't as confusing in that way, but it did have that element where I was like,
And at least a lot of things in Day After Tomorrow, they made seem plausible. We know a lot of stuff in there was...
Yeah, ish. Like, they kind of try
right. 2012 is just, like I mentioned earlier, with 2012 with the limo and man, that limo was like a Lamborghini.
He was whipping that shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, they were jumping and...
Yeah,
I haven't seen 2012, but I saw San Andreas. Is it like that?
San Andreas is the better movie.
Oh, I don't even think that's all that. But, yeah.
Maybe we didn't talk about San Andreas.
Reminds me of San Andreas.
I like San Andreas.
Yeah, we missed a few.
You know what it is? The effects in San Andreas were so good, my opinion, that I was like feeling that anxiety. Like, this seems like it could happen.
And
like,
that's the thing.
It's not that implausible. And I was like kind of freaking out. That's the only thing. It's like not fun for me to watch. But hey, that's credit to the...
Right. And no, that's the thing with these movies. 2012, the effects still hold up real nice, but it's just so over the top.
Yeah.
It's so much that you really can't. It's like we were talking about Titanic, Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
It's not as big. It's not as massive. Even the Titanic's pretty massive. There's still so much practical stuff in it that you can put yourself in the situation.
Yes. Yeah. San Andreas gave me a lot of anxiety, honestly.
Yeah, they try to make that a little
at all
more grounded. San Andreas.
Yeah, it's grounded. You're right.
I can't put myself in the movie 2012 at all. Like, it's been like when they
so maybe
and there's whole like shit's falling into the sea and all this stuff, and they're in the little plane and they're going, was that the Eiffel Tower? It's just entertaining. Yeah. Right? Like, tomorrow I'm like, oh, they're in the library and like they're all cold, and that works for me. I'm like, I can picture myself in the library, cold, with my buddies. Guy who's like moving in on my girl, and then all of a sudden not moving in on my girl. Yeah. What was the point of his character? Anyway.
Yeah. Oh man. What can you say?
That was the time. Austin Nichols in The Day After Tomorrow was Tom McCarthy in 2012.
Yeah. Like he was like in the whole like, hey, you want me to give you a tour? And she's like, sure. Like she does the thing, like looks at John and it's like, fine, yes, I would love to.
Man.
And then like a scene later, he's like, hey, why don't you tell her how you feel?
Yeah.
What are you waiting on? And he's like, well, the world's ending, so it wouldn't make sense for me to do that.
I joined debate for you.
Romance thing. They love that.
Maybe Roland Emmerich is a shitty director. Like maybe I'm giving him a little too much credit, but like I like it. Except for The Patriot.
I'll give you that. We'll give you that.
No man, but that's.
What's up, Eric?
No, that's it.
Oh, I'm about to wrap it up. So we spitting final thoughts, or I'm closing out.
Final thoughts of Michael Bay. There's Michael Bay, and I'm not gonna go there.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. No, it's so like you said. We told the line the genre is so you have to
It's huge.
natural disasters,
Huge,
regular disasters, because
Yep.
there's a lot of places we can win. I think Melissa mentioned like I forgot how you phrased it, Melissa. Like
Apocalypse?
movies, but yeah, apocalyptic style disaster movies. Because
A
I could
popsicle.
have named 10 more. Like
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah.
like Knowing and this
Oh,
other
no.
one.
Doesn't Interstellar kind of start out with a like?
Yeah,
It's like
you could
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so many.
but the ones we cover, we still
12,
ain't even.
12 Monkeys has the virus.
Yeah.
It's a lot like
Outbreak. These are all the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another list for whenever the new what's the name comes out. But yeah,
That's also mixed with like futurism and all that.
I Am Legend is a disaster.
Yes, yes, yes.
Disaster.
Exactly.
True from a
About
virus.
green.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is the end.
but Twister.
Waterworld, right? Like stuff
What
like
we didn't talk about? Waterworld. Well, not really. Waterworld. Waterworld is already kind of like there.
Yeah, that's post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
yeah. Get in the comments.
Reminisce is just like Waterworld.
Let us know what we forgot. What are some of your favorite disaster movies? Come
Let
back.
us know why you like Michael Bay better than Roland Emmerich.
That too,
No.
for sure. That too.
What 5 moments in The Patriot? Go.
We gonna come back in 2 weeks. That's gonna be my birthday, so we gonna talk about my favorite movies. It's gonna be all about me.
27.
It's gonna be this again. It's gonna be Independence Day again.
No, it's not. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna wrap up this episode, man. It's Rec League Podcast. Yo, bars is dagger sharp, and I'm coming for the jugular. These other rappers just blowing smoke like a muffler. Your bitch enjoys it when I'm rough with her. I rhyme the words and they all agree that he's spitting. What they also need to know is I bang gals. T. Higgins, Fresh Goldblum. I am, irrevocably the flyest. Might be biased. They frightened when I'm fighting, rhyming. My punchline and be striking like lightning. I don't even try, but I stand out even in formation. Among 7 black guys, 6 white boys, and 4 Asians. These rappers need to cancel all shows urgently. Inform your agents. Just tell them, hey, I can't take this. Them Rec League boys showing me I only promote lameness. And they'll commend you for your braveness. Unless you brainless, just rip the band-aid off, man. Shit is painless. And chill until the next episode.